Hi people, how you doing? Today the little sun has come out, so I decided that you know what? That I would do the video outside. But you know the saying, cleanliness is next to godliness. So I'm quickly just going to clean the area that I'm going to sit at before we actually do the video. All right. So how are you doing, everybody? People overseas, you know that the weather has slightly changed a bit. And whenever we see like the sunshine, well, it's not sunshine yet, but whenever we see a little, whenever the weather change, then of course, we try to be outside as much as we can. If you hear a little noise in the natural environment, then yes, that's how it is. I just quickly want to clean the area that I'm going to sit at, and then we're going to talk, not for long, probably for 10 minutes. We're going to talk. All right, I'm just quickly doing this because of course, it will be done properly in time. But let me just get this out of the way quickly, scoop it up, and then we have a conversation. The conversation that I'll be talking about, and I know that you have seen it in the topic, so you have an idea of what I'm going to talk about. While we are doing that, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe, put a like on the video as well. All right, so I'm almost there now. Let me just scoop this up quickly, and then we will have a conversation. Here we go. So I'm going to talk about quickly the things that is a bit different overseas. And for me, I'm living in the UK, so I'll be talking about things that I find different in the UK. All right. Quickly, I'm going to wash my hands and then I'll be back. Okay, so everything is nice, ready. Let us talk. Let me bring you a bit closer as well. So come with me. Let's go a bit closer. So I'm going to say, those who are new to the channel, welcome. I do appreciate the new subscribers. Hope that you are liking the videos. And of course, I have a second channel. The name of that channel, so when you're finished, you can go over, is Destiny's Touch of Glam TV. And that is where we do like the workout videos, anything to do with like your health. That is what is done on that channel. Okay, so I'm going to talk about some of the things that are different. So the first one is that, okay, in the UK, say for example in Jamaica, when you go to the petrol station, the gas station, you have someone who will like pump the gas for you, pump that petrol for you. In the UK, it is not like that. You have to pump your own petrol. If you need air in your tire as well, you do it for yourself. So that is something that is a bit different as well. Another thing that is a bit different is that some of the things that the terminologies are a bit different. So for example, and I'm going to, if I have a little story to go with each of them, then I'm going to mention it as well. So let me see some of the things that are different. Okay, when you're going on a bus, for example, because if you were not aware of it, a lot of people actually take bus. And it's not that you take the bus because you don't have your own transportation, you don't have your own car or anything like that. It's just that it is sometimes difficult to find parking space, And in some areas, there is actually what we call congestion charge for parking in those areas. And it could be as much as £15 per day. So it's very expensive. So you'll find a lot of people at times when convenient, they will park their own vehicle, take the buses, take the trains, just take the public transportation system. I should say as well, the public transportation system is very efficient. So for example, there is a bus, I would say every 5 to 7 minutes, and the trains likewise. So it is not as if you are being greatly inconvenienced. And in protecting the environment, I think this is a good way to go as well. So in saying that, there is almost an unimaginable queue when you're going into the bus. So it's as if people actually have an idea of who was at the bus stop before. And what you will find is that when the bus finally arrives, you will find people, instead of just going on the bus, they wait for the person who was there before. They will actually step back a little for that person to go in. So there is an unimaginable queue, and people, hardly break that queue because it is seen as rude. I don't know. Some people probably will call you out if they realize that you're breaking it. But I think because things are so disciplined, then you will not find that. Another thing is that on the transportation system as well, it is almost rude to stare. So even though you're in each other's space, you will find people, they lower their gaze, they sort of look down, right? They don't, even though you're in each other's face, you never stare. Because as I've said, otherwise you'll find people on their mobile phones, on their tablets, just doing anything to avoid, staring into people's face. So that is something that I find that kind of, I would say that is having manners as well. And that is something that I appreciate as well. All right. Now, there is something that I'm going to say. Now, the terminologies that are different. What you call sneakers in the Caribbean, for example, and I think in America it is called sneakers as well. In the UK, they are called trainers. So it's not get my sneakers for me, it is trainers. It is I like that pair of trainers. So that is something that is different. In the Caribbean and elsewhere, the things that you call, what you call your underwear, like your panties? No, it is not known as panties. In the UK, they are known as knickers. So that is something that is different as well. For the other two things that I'm going to bring up, I'm going to tell you a little story behind each of them. So for example, I walked into when I just came over, I walked into a store, and what I was looking for was what we call thumbtacks. You remember thumbtacks? The things that you use to put up charts, papers on the wall or anything like that. What you call thumbtacks. So I walked into this place and I asked them for thumbtacks because you will always have assistance as well. So I was asking for thumbtacks and nobody could assist me in locating what I was looking for. Can you imagine? It's like I knew what I wanted, but the people who were there to assist, they could not, help me to locate it because they did not know what I was looking for. It was only when I was walking around and I saw the thing. However, what we call thumbtacks is not known as thumbtacks. They are called drawing pins. So in the UK, what you call thumbtacks, they are called drawing pins. Okay, another thing, I was working as a teaching assistant when I came over as well at a primary school. And there, as a teaching assistant, you are there to support the main teacher. Now, on this day, the teacher was absent, so the head teacher was taking the class for the day. So the head teacher told me to go and get sugar paper from the storeroom. So you have a storeroom where all the little resources are kept. So they sent me to get sugar paper. I did not know what sugar paper was, but luckily someone who I knew was working there. When I say knew the person, it's just that I recognized that the person has Jamaican background. They had introduced themselves to me, and that was the administrator. So what I did, I got out of the classroom because, he said to go and get sugar paper. And I went up to the administrator and I say, you know what? Mr. So-and-so said that I should get sugar paper from the staff from the storeroom, but I don't know what sugar paper is. And what she did was to take me to the storeroom. What they call sugar paper over here, guys, is cartridge paper. So you see the papers that you use to make charts in the school, in the classrooms and stuff, those are not, they don't call them cartridge paper, they call them sugar paper. Another thing that is different, you see what you call stockings in the UK, the one that you, in the Caribbean, the one that you wear. It is not called stockings for us, they are called tights. So you are looking for a pair of tights. I know that, for example, in the Caribbean and probably elsewhere, tights is probably something, this kind of material, something that is close fitting. That is what you call tights. But no, it's different for us. The tights is what we refer to as the stockings. Another thing, pants. So in the Caribbean, you know what? We know what pants is. And something really happened. And to this day, I always remember it. So when my children came over, they were really young. And at the same school, you have almost like, what would I say, an orientation when the children are new, in that they will show you around. You will speak to the head teacher, you will speak to the teachers, and then they will say, do you have any questions? My question, I put up my hand. I thought I was just, wanted to have a conversation and everything like that. So I look at them and I say, are girls allowed to wear pants? You would think that that's an innocent question, quite reasonable question. Are girls allowed to wear pants? To be honest with you people, I never thought I said anything funny. I never thought I said anything wrong until I look around and I saw that some people were like laughing. When they were laughing, I didn't think, anything of it until another teacher just looked at me and say trousers. So what we call pants in the Caribbean, it has a different meaning in the UK. So pants is what you call your underwear. So now you understand why they were laughing? It's like I was asking them if my little girl was allowed to wear underwear. So what you call pants in the Caribbean and elsewhere, you have to say the correct word. You have to say trousers in the UK, because it actually, they have different meanings and so forth. So, these are just some of the things that are different. But just to say that, look, it is a situation where you definitely adapt, just like when you go anywhere, when you go on holidays or anything like that, and you realize that things are a bit different and you have to adapt. It's the same thing. When you go to a new country, right, you have to adapt. You have to learn the terminologies. You have to get with the system, because that is the only way that it will work for you. Now, if you have migrated, I want you to put in the comment section. Give me an idea. Has anything changed? Do you have any, little stories that you are looking at back now and that you are laughing at? Put it in the comment section. And before I go, I can tell you one of the stories that I had. Now in Jamaica, remember I said that you have to pour your own petrol, put air in your tire, etc. Oh wow, breeze, lovely. It's lovely because it's not cold. Okay. So when I was in Jamaica, I was fortunate in that I had someone to do that for me, all of that. So I struggled a bit with that, because can you imagine, you did not know how to really open, the gas the tank, your gas tank, you didn't know how to find it. There are certain things, sometimes like even the engine part and so forth. It is a situation where you are forced to actually know little bits and pieces for yourself. So in a way, that is good. But back to the story. So in the UK, you have designated, I would say, bus part of the road for the buses to drive. It is different in some areas, some cases, and you are not allowed to drive in them. But when I came to the UK, I got a lot of traffic tickets. Let's just say that, or at first. So I saw where I was in traffic, but I was looking on one side of the road, and I was thinking, but this lane is clear. Why is it that nobody is driving in it? That's what I was thinking to myself. And me being me, instead of just following what the other people were doing and, thinking that there must be a reason why, the heavy traffic and still there was a lane that nobody was driving in. Mind you, people were not driving in it because it was a bus lane. So nobody is allowed to drive in it, especially at certain times of the day. So in some cases, you're not to drive in that lane any at all. And in some cases, you have certain times of the day when you can drive in them. What do you think I did? I got out of the lane, right, where the traffic was, and I drove in the bus lane because I was thinking it is all free. Why is it that nobody was making use of it? I wanted to make use of it. So I drove in that lane. And don't even ask. Of course, I got a ticket. So there were certain little things. I got tickets originally because I must say that, certain systems are different, and people who drive elsewhere, and, when you're in a different country, the system is different. The driving system, the rules and everything is different. So what I had to do was to do over I did my driving test over and everything like that because, in the theory test, it explains like the different rules, what is allowed from what is not allowed. So, migration comes with its ups and downs. It comes with, you having to adapt. And I will always say that migration is for people, if you find yourself in a situation where you're migrating, you have to have an open mind, approach things with an open mind for things to work. If you are fortunate to have friends or, family members who have been there before you, you can actually learn about it as well. So these are just some of the things that, these are just some of my experiences. And of course, I think I think that I'm going to do a video at some point on this my travel channel on some of the good things or the advantages of migration, what I appreciate more, etc. But just to say, if you have gotten to this point of the video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe as well. And as a matter of fact, very soon, what I'm going to do a workout video for my other channel. So if you were not aware of it, I have two channels. On the other channel, Destiny's Touch of Glam TV, is where we have the workout videos. So remember, fitness is for everybody. Thank you again for subscribing. And don't forget to put in the comment section an idea of some of the videos that you would like me to post. And if you appreciate the videos that I've been uploading recently as well, just let me know. Until I upload another video, my Destiny family, peace.